Hi everybody. I know it's been a while since I posted a video. Um, no excuses. Sorry. I want to talk today about to parents who have students who have kids that they are trying to get into college or are already in college, but the parents themselves did not go to college. Why is that important? Well, studies have shown that when students are first generation college graduates, that they have a much harder time finishing school. And let me tell you why. It's the lack of experience and oftentimes poor advice of the people who are giving them advice, namely mostly parents. And I'm not saying that to put someone down or put parents down who didn't go to college, but there are just things that you do not know about being successful in college, getting through the process, um, that you can't pass on to your kids. And so, a lot of times, first generation college students get horrendous advice from their parents. Mom and dad, I loved them to death, but they gave me the worst advice. It took me 13 years to finish college. A good portion of that was just terrible advice I got from my parents. And let me give you an example. Um, I was going to college, and people who have gone to college will know exactly what I'm about to say without me explaining it. I could only get two classes: calculus and Fortran programming. That's a total of 11 units. I came home. My dad asked me, what classes are you taking? How many classes do you have? I said, two. Dad, I'm taking calculus and Fortran. He said, you're bullshitting. Get a full-time job or get out my house. I had to drop out of school. I couldn't get another class. I couldn't even pick up a PE class. I had to drop out of school and get a full-time job at the age of 19 or find another place to live. Well, let me explain to you what I just said for those of you who aren't familiar with how college works. Each class is not created equal. Each class has a certain amount of time that you are meant to spend in the classroom, and for every hour of class, 1 to 2 hours of study outside of the classroom, depending on how difficult the class is. Calculus is a 5 unit class. There is no way to survive calculus unless you are putting in 2 to 3 hours of study every single time you go to class. So, a 5 unit class is 5 hours of being in the classroom, 10 hours of homework every single week. That's 15 hours of work. Fortran programming, it's a computer programming class. Back in those days, if you didn't have a computer at home, which I didn't, and you had to have the Fortran program, you're looking at a 4 unit class where you're pretty much typing most of the time and figuring something out and testing and retesting. You're looking at 4 hours in class and 2 to 3 hours of coding every single night at school because you don't have a computer at home. So between two classes, I was putting in somewhere in the neighborhood of about 25 to 28 hours of study every single week. That's almost a full-time job. But because my parents didn't know that, they thought that I was playing around. They required me to get a job because they thought I wasn't taking school seriously. Right now, I have students that are trying to go to college, and um, as someone who is a college graduate and a teacher, um, I'm really trying to um, motivate my students to go through the process. Don't let some of these things scare you. I have students who are afraid to even apply to college because they think I can't afford it. You have no idea how financial aid works. You have no idea how the FAFSA works. You have no idea how hard schools work to keep you there once you get there. But it's very, very hard as a teacher to say apply, apply, apply. Go through the process. Call. Get on the phone. Talk to the financial aid department. These are the things that I struggle with because I'm trying to get my students out of the hood. Let's call it what it is, right? Um, and so a lot of times when I'm talking to my students, I'm shocked at just the things that they don't know. You know, hey, did you get your FAFSA in? I can't afford college. How do you know you can't afford college? What schools did you apply to? Well, I can't afford to go out of state. How do you know? You know, I someone was telling me a story of someone they know whose mother convinced them to get a nursing license while they were in high school so they can work their way through college. Why in the hell would you want to work a full-time nursing job in college? College students need to work enough to pay their bills and get back in the class. And if the job interferes with their work, then they just need to get a new job. I'm sorry. If their job interferes with their school, they need to get a new job. When I was finishing college, I got a new job pretty much every semester. My girlfriend at the time dumped me, and she said, I don't think you can keep a job. Well, that's because finishing school is more important than this job. And if I have a class at 8 o'clock and I turn around and have a class at 1 o'clock, and my job needs me to be there at 1 o'clock every day or 2 o'clock quit this job. Sorry, Starbucks, I gotta go. You know? So it looks like it's getting dark. I should have made this video earlier. But I just want to close by saying this. For the parents out there, if you don't have experience with college, find someone that you trust that is a college graduate so that you can get an understanding of what your kid is going through. So that way you can make sure you can temper your advice so that it helps them. And for those of you students who have parents who aren't college graduates, you need to find a mentor, a family member, a counselor, a teacher, someone who can help you with the process, because this process is daunting, it's scary, there's a lot of stuff out there, there's a lot of naysayers telling you what you can and you cannot do. And for my students, please understand that if you are in a socioeconomically disadvantaged community, the hood, your ability to pay for college is a whole lot different than someone who lives or goes to school in a better community. Simply because of your zip code, you will have more opportunities because you had to overcome a lot. You've had to overcome drugs, gangs, single-parent households, zero-parent households, 4 or 5 siblings. There's a lot of things that you have to overcome just to get that GPA that you have. And a lot of times colleges look at you and they say, well, you know what? If you didn't have that type of upbringing, you would have been able to do better. You have the determination and the drive. So we'll work with you. And that's the thing that you have to understand, that a lot of colleges will work with you if you know what avenues to go and who to ask and who to talk to. Anyway, it's been a pleasure. I love you all like step cousins. I'll talk to you later. Bye.